back to another episode of Clay County Historical and Arts Council's Artist Spotlight, where creativity meets community. I'm Tess Thomas, CCHACs media representative, and your guide through these inspiring stories. In each episode, we shine a light on the incredible talent shaping the arts in Clay County, sharing their stories, their passions, and the impact that they bring to our cultural landscape. Today we have a special treat for you. As you can see, we're surrounded by an entire family of musical talent, the Skirvin family. And I'd like to thank you, James and Amanda, for coming and sharing your family and your history with us.
You're welcome. Thank you for having us.
Why don't we just start right in and talk about your connection to Clay County? Can you explain how that happened?
Okay, how are we connected to Clay County? Well, the answer is found on my mug, which I'm drinking tea in. And it says Styles with the family coat of arms. And so these children are 9th generation Cherokee County residents in continuity, because when we moved here back to the homeland, their papa also moved and had an address in Cherokee County and Clay County. But so Thomas Styles was one of the pioneers. There was 3 brothers that came from Silva area. And their father was John Styles, and they owned land on both sides of Scotts Creek, all up and down in Silva, and they were charter members of the Baptist church there on campus. And the first Styles to come was Benjamin Styles, and he was a preacher. I would call him a circuit riding preacher. He ordained others and started our first churches in Cherokee County. And then Thomas Styles, his brother, is in our direct line. And Thomas Styles had a descendant named Ella D. Styles. And she married Wiley Ramsey. And they lived at Persimmon Creek and Beach Creek area in Murphy. Well, when the TVA came and they flooded their homestead with flood control, for hydroelectricity, and they called it flood control, but it flooded them out. And so they came to Clay County and had 100-something acres on Sedgwick Road in Brasstown. And this is how, to my knowledge, this is our first connection to Clay County, is when TVA flooded the Cherokee County residents. Yeah, and I'll say this, that Clay County was formed from Cherokee County. So this used to be Cherokee County, and Clay County was formed from Cherokee County in 1861, and that would make Clay County 165 years old today, or this year. So there's a little history in our background. Thank you, that's really interesting. Yeah.
And a lot of people were displaced by the TVA's Lake Chattooga that we all enjoy today, but let's move on to the family thing. As far as music goes, okay. What inspired you guys to make music together as a family?
Well, we've grown up in a musical family kind of from the beginning and just been around instruments. But some friends of ours gifted us Appalachian instruments, and we just got interested in that, and it kind of took off from there.
That's amazing. What a great gift.
I'll say this, that we were real inspired by the Carter family, even back before we moved here. Before we even got married, we were playing folk and gospel together a little bit. I quit there for a while. The kids brought us back into it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Way to go, kids. Good job. So the kids brought you back into music?
Yeah.
Right. So was there a specific moment that you realized you could actually become a band?
Well, our friend Kat from the Braston Farmers Market, she saw us play at the market in our little tent, and she was like, I think y'all should compete in the Georges Filler Convention in the Bluegrass Band Division. So she said, I think you're as good as all the other bands.
Yeah, except we got whooped pretty bad.
Yeah.
So you did what?
We got whooped pretty bad.
Oh, but you got up there and tried?
Yeah, and that was our first public performance as a family band.
And how long ago was that?
That was about 2 years ago now.
Okay. I'm so impressed.
As kind of a traditional folk family.
Right.
Yeah. We were doing other things before.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so tell me what makes your band different from other local groups?
Well, we're a family, and we're religious, and we play gospel music, And we also play Appalachian music, so I think that differs. Most people around here will play like rock music. We just play the old time style.
I love that.
It's really funny that there's so much rock played in Murphy. If you go to the art walk, it's all rock. And I asked a guy about it, and he said it was to cater to the out-of-towners because they want to hear rock. And I was thinking, well, what about the ones that want to come here and experience the local culture?
Right.
You know, rock's fine and all, but I mean, we have like a good history
Sure.
with different things.
Yeah, and to keep the heritage alive, you've got to recognize it and continue to play it, you know, for people to learn it, especially the next generations.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
I think that's really important. So that actually answers the next question was what kind of music you love to perform most.
Mhm.
So let's move on. So how do you choose the songs that fit everyone's voice and style?
Well, we come up with whatever ideas we want to play, and we just tinker around with it. If it doesn't work, we change the key and try it again, and we just keep trying things till it works for everybody.
I understand that change a key thing because I have a pretty deep voice for a female, and so I'm always like, can you drop it down too?
Yeah.
So, are you pretty much doing originals or covers or both?
Well, I guess I like to clarify covers. We play more what we would call traditional songs where they're, what's the word?
Public domain.
They're in the public domain. So cover, I think of more of like modern songs. So we do more traditional songs and then some originals, but we like to mix it up and do both.
Good.
Yeah.
And you said earlier that the Carter Family Band inspired you.
Absolutely.
Was there any other inspirations that you had for music?
Yeah, the Carter family, and we're also influenced by the Stoneman family and the White Top Mountain Band, and also over Ramsey from Madison County in North Carolina, who happens to be a relative of ours.
Oh, nice.
Mhm.
So the music runs deep in y'all's family.
We've uncovered some of that history after being here.
Good.
Yeah.
That's always interesting, trying to go back and figure out your roots. How do you make decisions together as a band?
We will say get an offer for a show, and I'll come home or I'll look at the calendar and we'll sit down and talk. And if we can do it, then we're happy to do it. We'll confirm. So it's basically how it goes. We just sit down and talk.
So there's not been anything that was like, no, we don't want to play that one. You know, but it's exposure.
I can't remember any that we like wanted to turn down. We wouldn't want to go overseas.
Sure.
We would probably turn that down.
Yeah.
We like playing here locally.
Who do you think is the most organized in the family band?
Well, James definitely organizes the band. I mean, he's the one that figures out the shows, and he's in contact with a lot of people in the community, so that helps. And he's good at finding out like the history and the background and the music, songs the kids maybe already playing or want to learn or things that we hear. But he's real good about kind of orchestrating, I don't know, just how we all flow together. He's real good about that. Now, I mean, everybody does a pretty good job of being organized, but Macy's real good at helping us. The kids can pick up things really fast, but when we have trouble, she's real good at like hearing things and figuring it out.
And so is there a process where you decide, well, let's not do that song there, let's move it down here,
Oh,
put
yeah.
this in first, or
Yeah.
reorganize
Yeah.
the set, so to speak?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, we just kind of talk it through, but James is real good about thinking like the whole picture.
Yeah.
You know, you can kind of see the whole picture.
Well, we've learned a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, we've learned a few useful tools, like if we only say have a half an hour of a set, sometimes you have an hour and you get to take your time. You can tune in between songs. But if we can't, if we don't think, well, that's gonna take too much time if we have to tune, so let's just play like a few songs in the same key
Okay.
and then switch to another key after a handful of songs. So there's little,
That's a good
pieces,
point.
yeah, little points like that help.
Because the banjo, he might talk about this later, but you have to tune it for each key, tune it differently, and so it takes a bit of time for that.
Right, and so if you're taking all your time tuning, you're not playing, right? So is there any one of you guys that are cutting up or being funny in the shows, or who's the funniest in the band?
Sorry.
Yeah, I was gonna say, the kids all can tell jokes, and if you wanna hear some, we can probably tell.
Absolutely.
Anybody got a joke?
Absolutely. Who wants to go first?
I will.
Three men were walking out. Three old men were walking out. And the first one says, "It's windy, isn't it?" Second one says, "No, it's Thursday." Third one says, "Yeah, I am too. Let's go get a drink of soda pop."
Windy, Thursday,
Thursday.
soda pop, thirsty. That's hilarious. Who else we got one?
Knock knock.
Who's there?
Black Panther.
Black Panther who?
Black Panther, all I have to wear.
That's great. Do you have one? Nope.
We'll start laughing before I finish it.
I say, do you have a joke?
It's poison spicy.
You can hop in here and
I'm gonna do it.
Okay, wait, back over there,
Got
be the voice.
They didn't want them in the video. But I do want to hear you take one, Zach. What you got?
I have a motorcycle and I have a bike.
Okay.
Nice.
Did you have one?
Funny joke.
But I'm not gonna do it.
It's the
Are you
one
sure?
Daniel was gonna do.
Okay.
No, it's a
Isaiah should do
a
it.
different one.
That's
All right,
okay,
I got
that's
one more
okay.
one. I remember.
All right, ready?
All right. What do you get when you cross a horse with a poisonous spider?
I have no idea.
I don't know either, but you can ride to the hospital if it bites you.
Oh, you guys are great. All right, let's go to balancing family and the rehearsal and performances. Like, how do you unplug from the whole band part and just still come together as a family?
Well, that's interesting because about any point in time in our home, there's somebody just playing an instrument, picking an instrument, playing around. And then whenever we need to practice, we just get around and practice, or people just kind of come in and it turns into a practice. And so it's just really, it's a natural process in our home because it's just such
Right.
an integral part of our home.
So there is no separation.
Yeah.
You're just a family band all the
Yeah,
time, and
yeah.
the band is your family, and you are. I love that.
Absolutely,
I
yeah.
love that.
It's
Music
like-
is such an important part of telling stories,
Mhm.
and it's making so many memories that you guys will never
Right.
forget. You'll remember these times your entire life. But I think it's really important. How has the local area influenced your music? Other than, you said Appalachian, was there anything more specific that you could explain about that?
I would say it influenced us greatly. For one thing, learning about our roots, and then just the people of the area. Well, people have been generous to us. We can say that, for one thing. Also, the comments that they give is inspirational. I think that the community has taught us our purpose by the comments that we get. For one thing, like, old people will like us, and we're really happy about that. They say really sweet things to us. T-Claw said that we are a historical demonstration. He called us that. Let's see. Julie Nelms, wonderful fiddler that everybody knows, she said that our family is ensuring the survival of Appalachian music.
Oh, I just got chills. Absolutely.
Yeah. Most recently, Casey Kerr from Murphy called us the model family for local Appalachian culture. And that's a tall order. We're not 100% perfect when it comes to that, but we're at least like doing something that's preserving that history, and she recognized it. So when people recognize these things, it gives you understand your purpose. Because before that, we were playing to have fun. To be honest, like, we originally were playing to have fun. We like playing together, we like playing gospel, and that was about it. And then we realized how important it was to preserve the history. I will say this, there's a family band in Blairsville called the Collins Family, and they're preserving bluegrass,
Nice.
which,
They're amazing.
yeah, see, it's a little different. We're more old time, more what you'd call traditional mountain music, but we do have some bluegrass interest, and we're inspired by them too. We have mixed in some of that, especially with the harmonies,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited. You guys we're going to get a good treat when we're done with this question and answer stuff. Are there specific venues or events that have been especially meaningful to you all?
We love playing at churches. We'll go visiting churches, and it's so sweet to see the elderly people just grinning ear to ear and singing along. They like to see kids sing along too. Any show where people are singing along just makes me so happy.
Absolutely. It makes you feel like you're actually reaching the crowd.
Mhm.
Yeah, and especially the older generation, you know, to be sure you're bringing back good memories from that for them, you know. So that kind of answers how the local audience responds to your shows. Is there any other specific responses you want to talk about?
Well, okay, we were playing at the Art Walk in Murphy. It was a sideshow, really, because the main stage always has rock music. And I asked the fella why they only have rock music. Every time I've been there, it's only been, say, like 80s or so rock music. And a fella said to me, that's to please the out-of-towners, people from Florida want to come hear rock. And that's when I said, you know, and thought, well, there's people that want to come here and hear banjos and fiddles. And I've met people. We've had that comment too. I met a guy that came here. He moved here to Murphy because of the bluegrass. Really the banjos, but in his mind it was bluegrass. So we don't really know anyone other than him who plays the bluegrass banjo because there's so many old-time banjo players. We had a hard time even locating a bluegrass banjo player when we needed one. But, you know, Brasstown is full of musicians that play the old-time mountain music. Brasstown is full of fiddles. Brasstown is full of banjos. But we don't find it as much in Murphy. So another thing, when we were playing the Art Walk, is we've met people that said they moved here for the music. Art Walk is we had a man from Florida who said he came here looking for Appalachian music as a visitor. And he said he didn't find it until he found us. And he was very happy. He stuck around for a long time and watched us, and we kept in touch. And then there was another lady from Eastern North Carolina, same deal. She lived out by the ocean, and she wanted to hear mountain music when she's in the mountains. It's like, you know, if you go to Louisiana, you go expecting to hear Cajun music, right?
Sure.
Again, you're going to find rock music there and everywhere too. But why would you try to stamp out, you know, the local history?
Yeah.
Here's another thing to think about is the Cherokee people will teach their own people their traditional language. And that's not because they need it, it's because it's historical and important. And they will teach the old crafting ways like basket making. Well, you can go to Walmart and buy a basket, you know, and they can too. They don't need to make baskets in that sense, but they need to in order to preserve things and keep it alive. They keep a flame alive. And I would like to see, and I'd like to work with people in the local school system to do that, to maybe go in and share some of the culture and keep it alive here. I'd like to see principals and teachers out there get active on that.
What do you love most about performing close to home?
Get to get home and eat.
Be home in time for supper.
Yeah.
Yeah, traveling's not fun.
No.
Be on the
And he
road.
gets
No.
car sick too, so it's good when he doesn't
Yeah,
have
no
to go
car
to the
sick, get to eat sooner and
You know,
Although the curvy roads kind of.
Yeah. Now, personally, I love the curvy roads, but, you know, I've rode motorcycles for many years, and those are the best parts of the road.
Yeah. when we play close to home, they don't have to sleep in the van.
Right? True.
That's always nice.
What is your favorite part of a live show?
The people.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely it's, the key word there is live. Because you can see music on computers, but that's virtual, it's not reality.
Right.
So live, you have reality, you meet real people. You see real music played by real people on real instruments. I like connecting with people.
And it's an instant reaction. You can watch their facial expressions and see if they're enjoying it, or like you say, tapping along with their feet, or bebopping in the chair, or singing along. It's got to be an instant reward.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. Have you had any funny or unexpected moments during a show?
Yeah.
Maybe a few. Well, our first show, we started practicing. Our first show is like a family band with this genre of music. We started practicing about 2 days before the show. And the requirement was a competition. We had to have a fiddle player. And Macy had just started playing the fiddle and the mandolin just a few months before. She was doing just great, but she couldn't do both at the same time. So we needed her to play mandolin. So I picked up the fiddle and not pretend, but I just sort of pretended to play the fiddle. I mean, I could play some notes, but it was pretty fun.
Wasn't
did
your-
good
wasn't your
considering.
best.
Wasn't my best.
Wasn't your best.
Wasn't my best moment.
You did considering that you had only been playing like 2 days.
Yeah.
And she didn't make a squeak.
Nice.
You can-
That's impressive.
And you can go see these fails.
No.
How about,
Tell us, she's got
you got a
more.
little story you want to tell us?
You can tell it.
She's got more.
Yeah. Sure. You want to tell one of the stories?
Well,
Either one of you. I just want these two guys to say
you
something.
remember
They
what
haven't spoke
happened
yet.
in Stokoa?
We played a show in Stokoa. It was really windy, and we showed up in the mics.
Oh, so the wind was messing up the microphones?
Yeah.
Oh. So what does it sound like? It sounded like all wind. Couldn't hear any of the.
It knocked over the music stand,
Oh.
and she had to pick it up, and I about flew away on my bass.
Oh.
I had to brace it real hard.
No kidding.
Very
Yeah.
funny. Yeah.
Do you remember anything funny that happened?
Oh yeah. I'm going to talk to say that.
I'll share it. So we had one show where we were practicing at home and James had, in the middle of the song, he had a trick where he would spin his bass. And it was very smooth, worked out great. He would play, spin, go back to playing, it was just fine. When we get to the show and play it, we hadn't really accounted for the microphone setup with the bass microphone. So he goes to spin the bass and took the microphone out. Yeah.
And you
Fun.
can also
We will
see
leave
that at the
the-
Colors Convention
We will leave
video.
the rest to your imagination.
So the microphone went off the stage, flew away?
Not off
or
the
did it
stage,
knock
but it
Knocked it down.
Yeah, knocked it down, right.
Oh.
And it was a competition as
Technical
well.
difficulties, folks, please
2
pause.
points off.
Oh, it's a competition.
It was
Yeah, it is
absolutely
Colors
perfect.
Convention, it's on video.
Oh.
But it was still fun. It was fun. It was
The
still
people in
great.
the back had no idea. I picked it right up in like 2 seconds.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
He handled it very well.
And got
Right.
back right on
The
track.
show must go on.
They just
That's
kept going
Yeah,
like
we
pros.
just kept on.
Right.
That's what you have to do.
That's exactly right. So how do you hope the audience feels when they hear you play?
Well, I hope they feel emotions, both like happy and sad, and I hope they feel an appreciation for their Appalachian heritage.
Absolutely. What a great answer.
She said happy and sad, and that reminds me of the Bible verse. Jesus told a story. He's talking about John the Baptist, and John was a kind of a wild man. He looked wild. He said wild things. He was different from the other Jews. Well, Jesus, whose real name is Yeshua, I'll say, he spoke of children in the marketplace playing music. And he said that, they'll play a happy song like on a whistle and the people won't dance. And they'd play a sad song like a dirge, say on a fiddle, and they wouldn't mourn, it's supposed to make you sad. And so these people were impossible to please, and what's interesting is he never rebuked music. He never said anything bad about the children playing music. He said something bad about the people who didn't respond to the children
Right.
playing music. And that's what it made me think of.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Children have been playing music for ages.
And I pray that they continue to do so. Let's move a little forward. What's the hopes for the band moving forward?
Well, I hope we can continue to keep on playing locally. That would be great. And I also think it'd be really fun to play on Larry's Country Diner Sunday. That'd be really fun.
Is that a cable show? I'm not
is
familiar
it
with what's later.
Probably it's on YouTube.
Yeah.
But it just seems that a lot of the bands that are good now are playing at Larry's.
You hear that,
Yeah.
Larry?
Yeah.
Invite us,
If you want us to
because
fight.
we're amazing.
Because they're amazing. You're gonna find out here shortly. We're almost done with the Q&A part. Obviously, that's somewhere you would love to perform someday. Anywhere else you'd like to perform someday?
Just locally.
Yeah. No overseas, I remember. What kind of message would you share with the younger musicians to try and inspire them to pick up an instrument?
Well, I want to tell them, do everything for God's glory, and definitely preserve our heritage here in Appalachia. If you live somewhere else and you play music, try to preserve your heritage there, wherever you're living right now. Do it all for God's glory.
So find out what your grandparents played
Mhm.
or your great-grandparents and try to continue that on. And everything should be done in God's glory, I agree.
Otherwise it's vainglory.
It's
Mhm.
vain, it's vanity. Correct.
Typically,
Yeah.
that's it. But, so for us at least, that's what it is, and it gives us a life full of meaning.
Yeah, absolutely. You can't get the same meaning from that vanity thread
Yeah,
as you can from bringing the glory of God down in there. And I'll tell you what, the response in the audience is going to be more impactful for
yeah,
them when it's coming from
Right.
a godly center, you know, and they can tell. They
Yeah.
can tell if you're just out there trying to show off or
Yeah.
you're truly feeling the music
Yeah.
and what you're singing.
and see, we might we might get a little excessive with our showmanship. It might seem that way, but we're also having a lot of fun. It brings so much joy to us, and it's okay to be goofy. And I'll say this, it's okay to be weird for God.
Right?
I think we should be weird for God sometimes.
Why be normal?
I mean, if normal is weird, then weird is normal.
It's
Right.
relative.
It's
Relative,
relative.
right. I understand that you recorded an album. When is that going to be released?
Lord willing, this year.
Nice.
And I'd like to have it for the festival we're going to play in Clay County.
Yeah, so speaking of that, the Festival on the Square is coming up July 10, 11, and 12. And the Skirvin Family Band will be playing on Sunday the 12th from 2 to 4, so you do not want to miss that. We'll have several musicians playing both days. Of course, we start with a Friday night street dance from 7 to 9. And then we have, I think the folk school cloggers are going to start us off on Saturday. But Sunday, the end of our last 2 hours of our festival will be the Skirvin Family Band. And we really hope you show up for that.
We used to dance for the folk school cloggers.
Did you?
Mhm.
That's awesome. When you were little?
Yep.
Did they have some called the Littles?
I was about this big. I was about 6 years, probably 7 years old.
Right? That's so fun. So, why should people come see the Skirvin Family Band play live?
Well, it's good for people to see some live music instead of just looking on their phone or computer. And also, we're very friendly, and so we would love to talk to you after a show if you want to get to know us.
Awesome. So, unplug and come see some really good music and a very friendly family.
You know, that can be a useful tool, but it can also be, and I think it is, the number one threat to Appalachian culture and culture in general. It's a different culture. It's a virtual culture.
Yeah. God forbid we lose our electric or the power grid goes down.
Mhm.
Some of these children are going to be so lost,
Mhm.
not know what to do without. You know, they don't know kickball and hide and seek and kick the can,
Yeah.
tag it, you know. So I love that that you can get people away from the screen and go out and enjoy yourselves and
Yeah. It's healthy.
yeah, much healthier, especially mentally and emotionally. And at the festival, we're having I think we're almost up to 80 vendors. It is all
Wow,
original
great.
art. They will have food provided at the festival by the Hog Wild Barbecue and Catfish House. So there will be food and beverages available for purchase. This is one of the council's biggest fundraisers, and we really hope you guys come out and see all of our vendors. What is the main thing you want fans to know about your band?
Well, for one thing, we're not Amish, despite popular belief. It's a question that we get pretty often, but
Yeah.
we're not.
Yeah.
And what would you say?
Say we're not really online. We get online some, I mean, we do have a YouTube and a Facebook, but we don't really utilize it much. So if you don't see activity on there, we're still around. We're just pretty old fashioned in that manner.
If there is someone that wants to hire your band to do a show, how would they get in touch with you?
They can find us online. I believe the email is listed. They can email us.
So if someone that hasn't met you before wants to get in touch with you, can they do that through Facebook, message you, or
Absolutely.
YouTube and
Absolutely.
leave
Go
a
ahead and
comment?
send a message. If we don't get to it right away, we will still get to it.
How do you hope that your music is impacting the community?
Positively. I hope that we're providing that way, like we were speaking of. A lot of people aren't familiar with this Appalachian way. You could even live here. Whether you have roots here or not, those ways are becoming lost. So I just hope that we're providing this avenue and this thing that people can see that there is this direction you can go, and it's a very good, rewarding direction.
Absolutely. All right, so the moment you've been waiting for, just give us a second to regroup here, and we're gonna have some music.
My name is Daniel. I'm 10 years old and I play the mountain dulcimer.
The mountain dulcimer, how is that different from regular dulcimers?
You play it on your lap and where is it played at? It plays in Appalachia.
My name is David. I am 13 years old. I play the clawhammer banjo, 5-string banjo, climber style, not 3-finger. And I'm borrowing this banjo from the folk school jam program.
JAM stands for
Junior Appalachian Musicians.
amazing. That's a great program.
My name is Macy and I'm 15 years old. And today I'm going to be playing the fiddle. I also play guitar, mandolin, and banjo.
My name is Amanda, and I play the guitar and the auto harp.
My name's Leia. I'm 12 years old and I play mandolin, guitar, and auto harp.
I'm James, and I play the upright bass. I want to share a little bit about our instruments as far as the history behind them. The Appalachian dulcimer was gifted to us by a friend in Brasstown. David already said he's borrowing that from the folk school. Macy's fiddle is thanks to her papaw. Our first attempt at getting a fiddle is this right here, and it didn't play for us because the neck is bent or something. It's not set right, and we turned it into a museum piece, and it's signed by 2 different bluegrass boys that played with Bill Monroe. He was the father of bluegrass music, and it's got the guy on there, a fiddle player that also taught us how to play clawhammer banjo, and some of our friends are on there. And so we really treasure this thing now. But when their papaw said she needs a fiddle, we had already tried with that one, but then he came to see us. And he drove all the way here, 7-something hours, and took us to Brasstown to his friend's home and got us that fiddle right there. And that thing is from the 18th century, and it's European. It's the kind that our ancestors or our forefathers would have brought on the boat. And then the guitar over here was gifted from a man in Andrews. It's a nice Martin. And the mandolin was gifted by the Collins family. So Macy was playing a different mandolin, and it was gifted by a man in Andrews. And Benny Collins saw it, and he said, and because she was playing with Collins family, was jamming with them, sitting behind them jamming. And anyway, he said, you know, you need a bluegrass mandolin. And so he gave us their family mandolin. Of course, Randall Collins was a bluegrass boy. And we got to know him before he died. And anyway, that's all I got to share on that right now.
If you enjoy this style of music and you would like to join along sometime or practice or even just learn, there is a place in Brasstown. Our good friend Carmen at Pine Needles and Things, she opens up her porch in front of her business the 3rd Thursday of every month at 1 p.m. And we do our best to make it there every month. And it's open to any musicians that would like to come. So bring your instrument and you're welcome to come and pick with us.
Ladies and gentlemen, please enjoy this band whose sound is as rich and genuine as their roots, bringing heart, harmony, and a rare musical flavor you don't see every day. The Skirvin Family Band.
We're going to play some samples of Appalachian music for you. First off, I'm going to start by playing a ballad that was collected in Madison County, North Carolina called Pretty Sarah. When I first came to this country in 1839, I had so many fair lovers, but never so mine. I felt it all around me, so I was quite alone. Me, a poor stranger, and a long way from home. This is a traditional Appalachian tune that was played by our grandma's brother 100 years ago called Cindy. We first heard this played as a medley over at Clay's Corner back quite a few years ago, actually. And it's Will the Circle Being Broken and I'll Fly Away. Will the circle be unbroken? By and by, Lord, by and by. There's a better home awaiting in the sky, Lord, in the sky.
I cannot thank you enough for coming and sharing your history and your heritage and this wonderful music with us. I want to thank you all for joining us for the Clay County Historical and Arts Council's Artist Spotlight. And we hope you enjoyed discovering the stories behind the art and the artists who enrich our community. If you'd like to be featured in the Artist Spotlight, please email me, Tess Thomas, at cchachac@outlook.com. You can find more information on our website, which is clayhistoryartsnc.org. We're also on Facebook, Instagram, X, and YouTube. This episode has been made possible by a grant from Granny's Attic Thrift Store here in Hayesville, North Carolina, and by a grassroots grant from the North Carolina Arts Council, a division of the Natural and Cultural Resources, which is a state agency. I want to thank y'all for joining us, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.